Hello everyone, Josh first back again bringing you guys some more Elune, and I will have the actual gameplay of me beating Trent 11 in the background for you guys to check out while you're listening to my expose of my team here that I'm using, and a little bit about why I chose some of the heroes and some other setups that you could possibly use to beat Trent 11 yourselves. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Also, don't forget, today's video is sponsored by Elune and Gameville, so thank them so much. If you're new to the game, go ahead and download the game in the description below. Also, go ahead and check out their official Facebook page. And don't forget to join us in the description below in our Discord. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tick on notifications so you don't miss a thing here on the channel. And comment below what you guys think about today's video. And I hope you guys like the new setup. I haven't really done a setup like this before on the channel. Hopefully you guys like it like this. And I think it's pretty cool. So anyways, let's jump into our current team. Now, keep in mind, some of the gear on my current team, I plan to change out and make a little bit better to kind of tweak it to make it a little bit more smoother experience for myself personally. But with that said, you'll notice that I'm running Alvida, I am running Weiwei, I'm running Revi, I'm running Ahanes, and I'm running Miho. And I'm running the Iron Wall formation. I highly, and I mean highly, recommend running the Iron Wall formation because it is the best formation for Trent and pretty much a lot of the boss fight scenarios in the entire game. It's just a very good formation because it allows you to get some evasions with your front row, which makes them getting hit less, more likely, and also allowing you to kind of replenish some of those souls from your back row. A really good combos with Eris for a lot of different scenarios where you can run Eris in your back row, use your S2, and generate quite a bit of souls. So it's a very cool combo. But anyway, sticking to Trent 11 exclusively, my main combo here is to use weakening effects with my Alvida. She's also there to kind of give us a little bit of nitpick damage and to slow the mobs down so I can continue to keep kind of running over them so I can get rid of them before they go ahead and get eaten, I should say, or ate by Trent, which would then, of course, remove a lot of my buffs and cause me to have to restart over and put me in a bad spot. We don't want that to happen. We want to take these mobs out quickly as possible, and Alvida slows it down a little bit. Of course, it makes the fights go a lot longer than I'd like them to, but that's just a setup that I have right now working for me personally. There are better setups, though, however. Revi, of course, needs a few things to work for her to be viable in this situation. She needs high crit rate, which thankfully Miho provides that with her S3. She also needs to have weakening effects on enemies applied to allow her BJ set with full 6P set, giving her additional 30% crit, which thankfully our Alvida accomplishes that pretty well with her S2, which we have maxed out, and that's pretty much the only skill that I really use with Alvida. I believe I used her S3 one time in this entire fight. I might max that out later on as well, depending if I pull any more Arslan or Balder dupes, which leads us into some potential other setups that you could run. Balder, by far right now, at the recording of this video, the best DPS for Trent 11 that I've seen thus far. He works perfectly for this stage. He does physical damage. He has a really strong S1, a really strong S3 single target. He's got all those blades that he could stack and do a lot of damage and, you know, take multiple turns if he has a blaze, you know, if he destroys an enemy and all that good stuff. He also works very well with Lilith, which is another good combo setup to where he can attack multiple times with his S1. And his S2 is also very, very good. Kind of rivals Revi S2 in a way, if you think about it. And that's very good for clearing out those mobs. So Balder, by far, probably the best DPS for this stage. Highly recommended if you have one built up. Unfortunately, as you can see in the bottom right of the window here, I have a 6-star Balder, but no dupes in him, sadly, and I have no skill up. So he's going to be sitting on the bench for now, for the time being. Now, Arslan. Arslan would be my number 2. My second guy, my number 2 to go to for DPS for Trent, because he offers those weakenings by default from his passives for those mobs. It's going to be very, very crucial to allowing a unit like Balder or Revi to just go in there with the BJ set, full 6P set, and do some hardcore damage thanks to getting that crit up with the BJ 6P set, like I said, and Miho. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage there, plus the blazes on top of that if they do go off. So it makes for just a very good combo. He also hits pretty dang hard with his S2, and he's very self-efficient with his own crits. So he's going to be critting quite a bit. So Arslan is another very good setup that you could throw in here. You could run Baldur and Arslan together. You could just swap out Alvida, swap out Revi, put those two in. Boom, you're set. You could put one or the other in with a Lilith. You're set. You could put them both in with a Lilith and possibly you're set. But then you might want to rethink a little bit about being a little bit more tanky, because then you'll be having to remove your Ahanes, and that'll leave you a little bit less HP than you'd like to have, and there is potential for being completely destroyed there. So you might not want to go too crazy there, but it's just some possible options that you could use. Now, we are running the rare hero. Yes, you heard that correctly. Rare hero. No dupes, just +0 Ahanes. The rare support hero. What does she offer to the team? Let's go ahead and open her up for a minute. Now, this may shock you. I know quite a bit of you on the Discord for Elune, the official Elune Discord, already know about the power of Ahanes. But for those of you who don't, the Golden Goddess has some amazing skill sets that you may want to check out. If you have not made a 6-star Ahanes, I recommend doing so at this time. Stop everything you're doing. Go look in your inventory, check out your hero box and say, oh my goodness, I have a 4 or 5 Ahanes. I might think about evolving her to a 6-star after just seeing Josh First's video. Because if you max out her S1 and her S3, her S2 is subjective. You don't need to max it out. I don't even really use it, but some of you might want to use it. You can max it out if you want. It's just rare skill books. They're very hard. They're not very hard to come by at all. They're not as hard to come by as epics and legends. They're very easy. It's just going to be a lot easier to get dupes into. If you get dupes in her, even better. Mine, unfortunately, no dupes yet. I plan to get some, though. But basically, you definitely want to max her S1 and her S3. Her S3 is giving you an enhanced buff at maxed out of 150% attack, increasing your HP for 4 turns. So you're talking about taking one of your allies, for example, that has 50-60k HP and taking them up to potentially 70-80-90k HP for 4 turns, making her more viable for this stage than even Freya, even recently buffed Freya. She just becomes more viable. She's absolutely phenomenal, and her S3 is the same cost as Freya's S2 because it's only 4 souls. What else is very interesting about her? Why do we want to max out her S1? Well, the funny thing is, she is actually, spoiler alert, you'll see this in the stat sheet at the very end of today's video, but she's actually my second hardest hitting DPS in my entire team right now. And she has no dupes. She has a very low attack. I think her attack right now is only like 6,200, which I plan to swap some gear around and get that way higher. She's going to be my second DPS. She's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. And the reason for that is you're going to max out her S1. Every time one of your allies crits, thanks to her second passive, she will attack that enemy with her base skill, Golden Hawk's Talon. So, if you pair that up with a male hero and Lilith combo, you can attack one ally, you can attack one mob 3 times potentially right there. Simple. If you put her in a comp with Karu, there's some more potential there as well. There's a lot of different things you can do with Ahanes. And that is just the second effect she offers, because the first one, like I said, is that increasing of the max HP on all your allies, which is phenomenal. Makes your team very tanky, especially in comparison with Weiwei's S2 that you're going to be, spamming as well as her S3, and your Miho's evasion for her S3 and the crit rate from her S3. All kinds of good juicy things are coming from this team comp. And again, the only 2 heroes that I would interchange is Alvida and Revi. I would swap them around with like a Baldur and Arslan, or a Baldur and a Lilith, or an Arslan and a Lilith, or maybe I would just swap out Alvida with Arslan and run that with Revi. All kinds of different things that you can do. Just, it's crazy. There are a few combos. Unfortunately, this is the best I can do personally for me right now because the way my account is set up at the moment. But for those of you who have those other units, you can try those other combos. They might be even better. They might work more efficiently, more optimal. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at my Alvida real quick. And you guys can see the fight in the background commencing. It's a very long fight, but it works. I will say this right now, with Alvida, the fight will drag on, because Alvida is not going to be there necessarily for DPS, but to slow down the fight and allow you time to build up and do your combos, swap your turns, and do all that damage that you need to do with Revi. and all those other things. So it keeps your buffs up, basically. She slows the game down so you can keep your buffs up. That's Alvida's job. Her attack is 10,700 right now with the current gear I'm running. As you can see, I am running her on Moonset gear for the weakening effects, and of course, to get the free souls from the Corrupt set. So of course, we're going to have those. But skills and skill gems is what's really important here. If you are running Alvida, you need to max out her S2. You need to get that speed reduction as high as possible. And remember, on bosses, weakening effects are halved, so keep that in mind. Skill gems. I went ahead, and it doesn't really matter what you do for S1. If you just want to throw a little bit of damage on there like I did for S1, or just use regular gems that they ask you for, it doesn't matter. Her S1 really isn't a big deal here. Her S3, not so much either. Unless you really need that extra little bit of damage from Alvida, then you can also max out her S3. But I really didn't touch it too much. I leveled it up once, and then I thought, maybe I'll sit on my books for a little bit and see how this works. Her S2, though, you want it maxed out, and you want full Indigo Gems, because Indigo Gems are increasing the weaken effects by 5%. So you're going to make that speed down a little bit better. So you want to do that for Alvida. That's how I built my Alvida. Revi, we've kind of already spoiled her gear earlier. She's just running full BJ set, because we want to get that 50% crit power for 2 turns after she destroys an enemy, which would be one of the mobs, and 30% crit rate when attacking weakened enemies, which you can do that with an Arslan on your team, or an Alvida, or any other hero that can do some kind of AoE weakening. So she'd be very good with that, because now we're pulling the absolute most potential damage out of our Revi that we can, making her work. Because you got to remember, Revi needs a few of these things to make her viable. You can't just throw a +5 Revi in there and hope that she's just going to obliterate the mobs. It's not going to work like that. You need to rely on a few factors. You need your crit rate high. So you give her gear that has as much crit rate on it as possible. Okay? That's step 1. You need to make sure you're running Miho. Miho's S3. So you're getting those crits on that as well. So you're critting as much as possible. Critting as much as possible is also working well with Ahanes, because now she's going to be attacking with her S1. And then you have weakening effects. You need to get those weakening effects from Alvida, so you're getting that additional 30% crit from the BJ set wearing 6 pieces. So you're getting as much crit out of your Revi as possible, because crit is where most of your damage is going to come from on this stage with a unit like Revi, because she's doing magical damage, not physical damage. So you got to keep all that in mind. Wei Wei, I got her on, I believe, just full Corrupt set. And I think my Ahanes right now is on full Disciple. Like I said, 6200 attack. I'd love to get that up a little bit higher. Swap that gear around, maybe take her out of Disciple, and maybe run her on Corrupt as well, with maybe the healing set. Potentially, I don't know yet. Not the healing set, rather. What set was it? It might have been Corrupt and Disciple I was going to run. I was going to write Light and Dark there. Maybe I'll run Forgotten set for just a little bit more tankiness, because she has no dupes in her. So her HP is a little bit lower than I'd like it to be. So there's a few things that you could try there with your Ahanes. Depending on how many dupes you have in your Ahanes, you may not need that much tankiness, to be honest, because her HP just might be good enough as is, because she's a support here after all, so her HP does get pretty good. Miho's running full Corrupt as well, I believe. Actually, I think I had to take some gear off her, so she might not be full Corrupt now. No, she has some spare parts, because I had to kind of make things work. But she does have, I believe, evasion on her ring. Yeah, I think most of my rings have evasion, except for, I believe I have a crit ring on my Revi. Yes, I think I have crit or crit power on my Revi, because I wanted to make sure I get as much DPS out of her as possible. But I mean, that's pretty much the team in a nutshell. Like I said, I gave you some valuable options that you could run if you don't have these units. If you have some other units like a Bard or an Arslan, pair that up with a Lilith. If you got a Lilith, max out all 3 of her skills. If you got Balder, build up, max all 3 of his skills. If you have Arslan, make sure you at least max out his S2. If you run him with Lilith, max out his S2 and his S1. You could also max out his S3 if you have the books for it. So, you got some options here. But I hope you guys have been enjoying this type of style video. I hope you've been enjoying the fight in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Until then, have an awesome day. And don't forget to subscribe here to the channel. As always, until then, peace.
take the fall? Who will win it all? You know the cost, still you go through walls. Keep on acting small. Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove, I got bad taste of hanging around you. Bad. I'm so sorry about the bitter end. I'm so sorry if I misbehave. In the middle we got tangled up, but in the aftermath of us, I don't regret that much. I don't regret that. Sunny side up, try to keep it cool. Bending all the rules, bending all the rules. It gets colder, but I hate being cool. I can't be cruel to you. Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove, I got bad taste of hanging around you. Bad. I'm so sorry about the bitter end. I'm so sorry if I misbehave. In the middle we got tangled up, but in the aftermath of us, I don't regret that much. I don't regret that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. In the aftermath of us. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Baby, I got no excuses. I got nothing left to say. Didn't wanna stand up useless, but in the aftermath of us, I'm so sorry about the bitter end. I'm so sorry if I misbehave. In the middle we got tangled up, but in the aftermath of us, I don't regret that much. Don't regret that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. In the aftermath of us. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
4 in the morning, you got me up all cause you need to talk. To 4 in the evening, wanna break up, say that you've had enough. I'm tired of talking, again and again, argue about everything. You are my darling, this kiss and make up, I know you wanna touch. You call me every night, call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say, we gon' be okay, we just gotta boom bada boom ba. I don't wanna fight, you know that I'm right, baby let me talk to your body. We gon' be okay, hear me when I say, if you need me, I'm gonna be by your side. If you want me, I'm gonna be there, alright. If you're on me, I'm gonna treat you the right, treat you the right way. If you call me, I'm gonna pick up the phone. If you tell me, I'm gonna meet you alone. If you're on me, I'm gonna treat you the right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you right every night. I'm gonna treat you right every day. I'm gonna treat you right, treat you the right way. When we're out dancing, you on my hips, me on your lips, so sweet. Both understanding, when we're a team, nothing can get to me. I'm yours for the taking, every part, all of my heart you get. I don't fear nothing, when I'm with you, and baby when you're with me. You call me every night, call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say, we gon' be okay, we just gotta boom bada boom ba. I don't wanna fight, you know that I'm right, baby let me talk to your body. We gon' be okay, hear me when I say, If you need me, I'm gonna be by your side. If you want me, I'm gonna be there, alright. If you're on me, I'm gonna treat you the right, treat you the right way. If you call me, I'm gonna pick up the phone. If you tell me, I'm gonna meet you alone. If you're on me, I'm gonna treat you the right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you right every night. I'm gonna treat you right every day. I'm gonna treat you right, treat you the right way. I'm gonna treat you the right way. Treat you, yeah. I'm gonna treat you the right way. The right way, the right way, oh. The right way, the right way. Right way, the right